First of all, just really proud of our team. I thought they really fought and battled hard. We expected this to be a very tough game, and Northern Illinois is an excellent football team. They were a year ago. It seemed like once Dave and his staff got settled in, after the first 3, 4, 5 games, it just took off and did a great job. And played a team was really well coached and good football team today, certainly. So we knew this was going to be a real challenge. Certainly proved to be. Just really proud of our effort and the way the guys hung in there. A lot of things that were disappointing at times, and those are things that are correctable with time, hopefully. And younger guys, older guys, but then there were obviously a lot of good things that took place out there too. And same thing, older guys as well as younger guys, or even older guys that maybe aren't that inexperienced. Think about a guy like John Wanke putting it down there inside the 5 line, almost on the goal line, inside the 5-yard line. So it was all add up, and it was a tough game for us. This will be really a good win for us in more ways than one. Obviously, our goal was to come in here and win the game and play hard, and got both those things accomplished. So, now we got to keep pushing forward here and try to grow as we move forward.
Special teams did it.
Yeah, overall, pretty good. We missed that one field goal. I know Mike was disappointed with that, but then he bounced back and did a good job on his kickoffs, and then certainly that 50-yarder. I don't know how he pulled that one off. Actually, he was slipping a little bit, so that was a huge play. And overall, a lot of good things there, a lot of positives.
How hard was it to move the ball through the air against NIU's defense?
We had a tough time. We had a tough time protecting at times, and certainly a tough time getting open. And just didn't seem like we were in great sync throughout the entire game. But that'll improve. That'll improve as we go along. But they give them an awful lot of credit. They had a good game plan, mixed the pressure up with coverage, and really did a good job. They made it very tough on us.
Talk about that last play with Bullock and the great play call.
It was a play we talked about at halftime based off of something that happened in the second quarter. I believe it's the second quarter. So great play to pull it out of his pocket at an opportune moment, obviously. And that was a huge play because, clearly up until that point, our biggest issue was getting in the end zone. We didn't have much success doing that. I think the other big issue, it seemed like we had a lot of second and really long. So, not getting yardage on first down, that makes it tough too, because next thing you know, it's 3rd and 1.
How challenging was it stopping Lynch's running ability?
Obviously, we didn't do a great job of that for a while, and they made a great play on it. I think it was 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 there with a touchdown around the second half. But we expected him to be a really tough, competitive guy. Did a great job here at Mount Carmel, and the guy's a winner. So we knew that was going to be a challenge for us, and they did a nice job with their game plan with him spreading us out and then running him. And we're going to see more of that down the road too. So it's something we're going to have to keep getting better at. But I do think we got better defensively in the second half, and that's encouraging.
Coach, were you expecting that kind of production from Bullock, or was it more of a pleasant surprise?
Well, I didn't know what to expect. He's a very young player, second-year guy on campus, and I don't think he had many yards last season, period. So, first of all, just for him to play almost the entire game, he didn't play the entire game, but for him to carry the load, it was muggy out there today. I was worried about that. A lot of things he'll do better in time, I think, but I think he did a lot of good things too. He missed a couple reads on some runs, a couple protections, and that part of that's experience and just keeping his eyes up, maybe be a little bit more patient, but that's going to come. But I thought he made some really tough runs too and did some good things, and certainly pleased with this being a first step for him. But as much as anything, playing the entire game the way he did, and finishing up in a strong fashion.
You said Tuesday that you used 3 backs, but was it because Bullock was playing so well that you changed that?
Yeah, our plan was to play all 3 guys, and at some point we will. That won't be a big surprise, but Greg looked a little young out there, but that was good for him to get on the field. Mike will be next, and certainly Damon did a lot of good things there, and I mentioned the touchdown run. He did a nice job there for us to get that first down at the end too. Those were tough, hard yards, and those things, those are things he hasn't done probably since he was a junior in high school. So that's a positive step there.
Kirk, if you talked about this earlier, I apologize. The Winky punt, that kind of win a game for you.
Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned. It just we had some young guys step in and do some things. Bullock's a young guy, did some good things, and then contributions from a guy like John, a 5th-year senior, that we tried to, he was competing for that punting job, lost it to Connor, but thought maybe we could divide the labor a little bit, and it was a huge play. And then it's another 5th-year senior. I think Castile's the guy that goes down there and keeps it out of the end zone, and Greg's the guy that popped in when BJ was injured too and did a great job. So those kinds of things aren't real obvious, but they're pleasing because we're gonna need those kinds of efforts all season long.
BJ okay? Or?
Yeah, I think we got good news there. They X-rayed it, and I thought it was a shoulder. It sounds more like just he took a shot, so he's got a contusion.
Has Meyer's performance through his career been at all a surprise?
Talking about Mike now?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I think, to me, and I'd throw James Morris or a couple other guys, but both those guys have played a lot the last 2 years. But I thought we saw them really kind of take that next step, if you will, starting in the spring. They both had good springs. They just looked more confident, and so they both of them have continued that during the course of camp. You know, James has had some injuries in and out of the lineup, but Mike's done a great job. So there's no guarantees, but we're really certainly counting on him to perform well this year and next year. And I think with the youth on our football team, if our guys in that class, those juniors, aren't playing really at a high level, we're gonna have some issues. So you know, it's good to see, certainly. And Marshall Kane's really made progress too, and I'm happy about that. But you know, Mike's clearly our starter.
What's happening between the 20 and the 20 that just couldn't get the ball in?
I think just a lot of little things, but you know, we drove the ball. I think we had 3 drives that you know, were pretty good drives, significant distance. Then we couldn't finish the drives, but even in those drives, we weren't too often weren't doing well on first downs. We ended up with some tough third down situations, and you know, but a lot of that's timing. A lot of it's just, you know, guys feeling their way around, and then a lot of that's Northern Illinois too. Those guys were moving around. Again, good job with their game plan, and they're aggressive, a lot, confident, a lot. I think I'm correct in saying they had 9 guys back from last year, and then you throw number 36, who was the MVP here 2 years ago. So that's a pretty salty group, and those guys, you know, they're athletic, they move, and they're aggressive and tough too. So, you know, it wasn't like it was easy, that's for sure.
Talk about your
summarize your quarterback play and your passing game.
It's rough right now. It's rough, and a lot of little subtle things in there that, you know, you probably wouldn't know just watching the game, but some things that, you know, he's counting on, whether it be a protection or a guy, you know, running a certain route, that type of thing that we weren't in sync with. And so that, you know, he's going to be just fine. But I'll tell you, he kept leading us. He got everybody to hang in there, and that's it's a pretty young group that he's stepping into when he goes in there. And you know, I think he and you know, James are the 2 stabilizers. Both James are kind of stabilizers in that group. But we'll grow and we'll get better.
Talk about the play.
The passing attack was behind the running attack.
You know, run attack, I had no idea, quite honestly. I don't think any of us did, and we're hardly out of the woods, but it was a positive step. And then the passing game, you know, was less than impressive in the spring, but I thought over the last 3 weeks, I think we've made strides, or the last 4 weeks, I guess this is our 45th time out there with a helmet on, so 30th, you know, in this period. But that's one of the areas I think we've made improvement. It may not have showed up today, but it's going to as long as the guys keep working, you know, and keep their focus where they need to. It's going to come around.
Talk about the play of the defense, particularly in the fourth quarter. I mean, when you couldn't give up anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Our backs were more than up against the wall, and you know, it's a great. And that plus 50 punt helped, but you know, we've all seen a few plus 50 or, you know, ball inside the 5 where it's come out to midfield or beyond over the last decade. You know, so that was a big stop for us. Gave us a chance to win the football game, a better chance to win the game, and certainly getting the ball in great field position was helpful. So the coverage there, and then stopping them, you know, for 3 downs, that's a big sequence in the play, in the game.
Coach, what does a game like this do for your young defense in giving them confidence they can make stops late in the game?
I think it's going to be good for our whole football team, because this was a hard-fought game. Both teams competed extremely hard. And you know, we were able to come out with a win, and you know, I'm not sure if anybody was predicting that, probably somewhere in the third quarter, even into the fourth quarter. But the guys kept fighting. They gave themselves a chance to have success, and it's a real credit to our guys. And boy, I'll tell you, Northern kept fighting too, so it could have gone either way certainly. But for us to, you know, we wanted to play hard certainly. We also wanted to win the game, and we ended up getting both those things done. Now we've really got to focus on continuing to improve, and I think we have improved over the last 3 weeks, but you know, we've got a long road in front of us right now.
James took
Final question.
Yeah. James took a couple big shots today. Is protection something you'll address during the week before Ohio State?
I'm concerned about it every week. It almost cost us today. You know, we missed some pickups, both with our linebackers and their secondary, and you know, if you do that, you're living on the edge, and that's you know, forget about a sack. That's a ball coming out, those types of things, and that's how you lose ball games. So we were fortunate it didn't come out, but you know, we're not going to be able to sustain drives successfully if we're not better in that area. But this will be a good, you know, this will be a good learning step. I hope. We'll see next week.
Okay,